welcome to the first episode of the Get to Know podcast, where you can find exclusive interviews with professional fighters and MMA fighters as well. If you guys are interested in any of them sports, make sure to hit the subscribe button and stay locked to all our social medias. You'll see loads more interviews coming up. I'm here with my first guest, Boy Jones, also known as Ben Jones. I'm not quite sure which one you want me to call you.
You know what? It's one of them things that just I hated getting called boy at the start, but it's just a habit now. So like, you just can call me what you want. Call me what you want. I wish I did do the amateurs, but I ain't that like disappointed that I haven't. But yeah, I did do the unlicensed. I think I had 4 or 5. I think.
Yeah, because when I saw the videos that I was looking up back in like 2015 when you turned pro, you look like a complete baby. Like, do you know what I mean?
Do you know what I was 16 going on bloody 12. Like, everyone would look at me, and I still don't look like a boxer now. Like, I'll get a lot of daggers like now, even now. But like when I was a kid and that, and you used to see him on a fight poster, people used to laugh. I think that's why I used to sell so many tickets, or I still do. Like, Ben fighting, like Ben. Like, I'm one of I've got loads of brothers, and out of all of them, I don't think you'd put me as the boxer. No, I was a weird kid. I used to sit there playing like toy soldiers, and that. I was very like, I weren't into sports as a kid, like not at all. So putting me in the boxing ring, like, I'll send you some of the posters. It was embarrassing. Like, I look back at it now. Is that what I look like? Like, is that what I actually look like on a poster? Like, I was literally like that wall. It was disgusting. Like, and yeah, it was just bad.
Do you think that lack of amateur experience kind of took its toll a little bit more as you kind of stepped up the levels?
Yeah and no. Yeah, definitely. Because like I'm still learning now. Like, you never stop learning as a pro, and like obviously in boxing, like every fight's like, I don't really care about my record. My record speaks for itself. Like, I've lost to good pros. Craig Evans, fucking fantastic amateur. But like, I think now, like, I'm still learning how to jab. Do you know what I mean? But that's
You're still quite young, aren't you? Though, do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
even for the amount of experience you've had, it's crazy how old are you now? Like 24, 25?
Yeah, 24. I'm 24, and I'm learning how to jab now. Do you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I'm very young. Like, I never said I was retiring, so I wouldn't say this is a comeback. I've had a very long layoff. I've had a very long break, personal issues, and just, so it weren't like I was retired. I never put a label on it. Everyone was asking if I was boxing, and just to stop the conversation, I'm retired, so that conversation would be done. That's why I used to say it to people. But like,
Yeah,
I think like going back to the question about being amateur. Obviously, for when amateurs, it is showing now, because like now little things like I'm learning how to jab. Like, I've been sparring Josh Taylor.
I saw that. Yeah.
And there's little things like I'm thinking, and at the start, like he even said like, I'm improving now. So obviously he's rubbing off on me. Like, I'm not a very academic person where I learn on pen and paper. If you show me something, I'll do it. So obviously I'm picking up on things on what Josh is doing. I'm thinking, oh, I like that. And then I'll do it in the next sparring session. And it will just be a big process of just like everything he'd do, I'd copy. It's just like, but now, yeah, it's just going back to the question again. It's like, I'm literally learning how to jab. And like, a jab can take you so far. Like, I see it, obviously everyone says it, and everyone or puts Instagram pictures up of them throwing a jab, and I'm thinking, yeah, like, there's just so many ways to throw it. And like, I'm 5'11", going on 6 foot, and I like sitting there having a rad, you know what I mean, sitting on my shots, taking shots, like, but I should be boxing. You know what I mean? I'm learning.
I watched the fight with I think it was it Martin Hillman? Is that the name?
Oh yeah. Martin Hillman, very good fighter.
Like, yeah, and he was just relentless the whole time. But like, it surprised me at like such a young age how relaxed you were under that pressure. Do you know what I mean? And
yeah. Mickey Burke says that. Mick the Gent. He always says that how relaxed I am. I think boxing every boxer, they box like their personality. Like, I'm a very laid back person. I'm very chilled. Like, let's just say the house is on fire. I'm just like, okay, all right, I've got to get out now, but I won't panic. You know what I mean? I'm very relaxed. I'm very laid back and chill. So I think my boxing style is very like, someone sits there and throws 1,000 shots. I'm thinking, all right, there's 10 rounds going on. Like, I'm going to get you back slowly. Like, I think a lot of boxers these days, not disrespecting no one, but I think a lot of people need to learn that. Like, so that's why I was saying, going back on the license, I was fighting men. Do you know what I mean? So like, I was sitting there learning how to rough and tough it. Do you know what I mean? I was sitting in the gym sparring Lee Markham, Kevin Greenwoods and that. Even though they're bigger than me, they were teaching me little things and that, like tuck up and keep your hands up, take a couple on the shot on your arms and that. Like, so like, when going back to that fight, for example, Martin Illman, he was going chucking like thousands of punches. Yeah, it looks relentless, but yeah, he didn't hit me. Didn't really hit me, did he? Do you know what I mean? So like, I'm catching him on the arm, and that. So like, I think that gave me a blessing of being in on the license and that, of picking that up straight away.
Yeah,
and I think that's where I could have, like, let's just say I did a bit of unlicensed, a bit of amateur, you know what I mean? Learn how to jab, but also learn how to like sit on your shots, tuck up, you know what I mean?
Yeah, so it's got its benefits and its sort of downfalls, really, doing the unlicensed.
Yeah, exactly that. Do you know what I mean? So like, I wish little things like that I'm learning how to jab, but I've got a plan A and a plan B. If boxing ain't going, I'm gonna sit there and go through the trenches, and then if that ain't working, I'm gonna go back to boxing. You know what I mean? So like, that's what I'm learning now. That's what I can adapt to my style now.
I mean, you went I think it was 12 fights unbeaten at the start of your career, and obviously being such a young age and being on Box Nation, like how did that feel? And obviously, I know you say you're a laid back person, but obviously it must have been a lot of pressure, a lot of lights on you. How did it feel at that young age?
I was 19 headlining shows. Do you know what I mean? Like, I think I got a lot of hate for that. Like, I was a nobody. I come onto the boxing scene. I was a nobody. My pro debut was at the O2, wasn't it? And then like, I was headlining shows on my 12th fight and 13th fight. No, my 12th fight, Bradley Skeet headlining that. But the 13th, I was headlining that, and like, I was fighting Craig Poxon. I lost my 13th fight too, wasn't it? And that's where it sort of sunk in that, I need to hold on the reins a little bit. Is that the same? Or hold back a little bit? Because I'm 19, 20, fighting men now. Like, if I won that fight, I think that fight was a blessing in disguise, losing, because if I won that fight, like, I was knocking on, like, let's just say Commonwealth. Do you know what I mean? Like, let's just say I won that fight, I probably fought for the British Commonwealth or the English Commonwealth. So like, and that at such an early age, like, I don't think you need it. Like, I wish that I held back a little bit on certain things. Like, I don't think I should have fought for the Southern era so early. At the time, I won it because not been fighting fighters mentality. You'd fight anyone you want it straight away. Growing up now, I'm watching youngsters come through and that, and you think, oh, just slow down. I wish they just slow them down a little bit. Do you know what I mean? Because it is pressure as much as you think it isn't. Like, sitting there having a big camera in your face at the age of 19, you think, fucking, like, wow, mate, this is it now. This is real. This ain't a game no more. Ain't a TV. Like, it's real life. So like, that it does take. That's one advice I'd give to any pro coming out now. Just take your time. Like, even though I'm 24 now, I had in the space of 4 years, I probably had 21 fights. I think it works out.
I looked on when I was looking at Box Rec, and it was like you were at some point you were fighting like 6-7 times a year.
Yeah, I think it most was 8. I think it was 8 in 1 year. I had the most. Do you know what I mean? And
it doesn't give you much time to learn in the gym, does it? Because you constantly got a fight coming up. Do you know what I mean? Like, just take your time a little bit and get the right sparring, because you're constantly that mindset of preparing for the fight and waiting for that fight day.
Yeah, and do you know what? I feel like it didn't let my body grow. Do you know what I mean? Like, I was 5'11", making super featherweight. I was killing myself at the weight. literally like there were certain things that I was doing wrong that you learn now. Like sometimes I was trying to make weight too early. I won't point those things at no one, but I was making weight a week before the fight, which I shouldn't have done. And like I was draining my body, and like I was 18, 19. You should let your body grow. Do you know what I mean? Like there's times where you're pulling back, and it restrains you. Do you know what I mean? And then your body can only do so much. And I think having not been funny, having 2 years off now, I think letting my body grow in that, and then not being funny, I've grown wiser to the game. I've learned it. Like I like to do it a different way now. Certain things. So watch it. Having this nice long break, I'm going to call it, is proper done me a world of favors, because I'm looking at things now, and I'm like being on the outside sort of thing. You realize and you look at things, and you hear from certain people with experience. Like I was sitting there talking to Josh Taylor, like he was giving me loads of advice and stuff, and I'm sitting there talking, I'm thinking, oh, whoa, like yeah, and it's like there's loads of fighters that go through stuff. Do you know what I mean? And you think, cool, like now I'm a bit old enough. I can speak up for myself for certain things. Do you know what I mean?
What
I want to do it my way.
What weight will you be campaigning at when you come back then?
I think I'm going to be hovering. I think I'm going to be lightweight mainly, but I think lightweight. I'm walking around 10, 10, 8, 10, 10. So I would like to make a lightweight 9, 9, but obviously if opportunities come at 10 stone, I'll compete there.
Yeah, well, obviously Josh Taylor, one of the, in my opinion, the best fighter in the world at 140. And how was that experience sparring with him? Is that a new thing, or is that something you've done before? Because that is literally the highest level of sparring, isn't it?
Yeah, because I would say I've got a good little, is it a CV of sparring, but Josh is the very top, like definitely 100%. He's the very top. That come about. I know Ben, his trainer, like he knew me when I was I've just dropped out of school, and he was coming into the. I got a job in the gym where I turned pro at. I was working there when I was 15, 16, and he used to come in the gym, and I always talk to him about it, wearing these gold gloves. He used to walk in, and I think, he wear all this gold kit? This Ben Davison, Josh's trainer. He'd wear this gold kit of gold gloves. I'm thinking, who's this? Like I would always, and then like we'd always talk from there. And he had a few fighters there, and stuff. So I've always been pally with Ben. And then September, the first time when he was fighting for his last fight, I can't pronounce the fella's name, the Chinese fella.
Oh, Con Song, I think it is.
Yeah, he was. And he messaged me then, like literally, I weren't doing nothing. I think I'd done 4 rounds with him. But yeah, he said, "Oh, do you fancy coming to spar with Josh Taylor?" And I was like, "Oh yeah, why not?" I didn't train or anything, and I thought, "Oh fuck it."
But you were like, "Oh god, it's going to be a painful spar." This.
Not that I weren't even looking at, "Oh, this is going to be painful." I was just sitting there thinking, "Cough. If I'm making this cut, like obviously coming back, the experience I was going to get sparring with him." And then obviously that was there. He had his fight, and then I stayed in the gym from there. That kicked me up the arse. I'm thinking, fuck, if I'm asking to spar in there, I'm staying in the gym. So I stayed in the gym from there. Little bit flaky here and there, here and there. So I was talking to Mick, and he was going, "Oh, do you want to get in the gym?" And I was like, "Oh, I'll probably come tomorrow." And then I said to my missus, I was like, "I'm going to go gym tomorrow." And she went, "Oh, you always talk shit, don't you?" I was like, "What?" He was like, you always talk shit." And I was like, "No, I'm going to go to the gym tomorrow." And then she's wound me up. I'm thinking, I don't talk shit. So I
I
rang
have
up
to
Mick.
go now.
I'm coming to the gym today. Can I come? He was like, "Yeah, no worries." And then so her saying that's proper kicking up the arse. I was in the gym for about a month or 2, and then I saw Josh Taylor got Ramirez. Is it Ramirez he's fighting now?
Yeah.
Yeah, that got announced, and I messaged Ben straight away, and he aired me. Well, he didn't air me. He didn't open it. I said, "If you need sparring, just let me know. Like I'll do it." And then about 4 weeks ago, he messaged me. He was like, "Oh, you're around for some sparring?" And then, yeah, so from there, and then like I've been consistent with it. and it's only bringing me on. Do you know what I mean? So like, and that is definitely like a highlight of probably my career. Like a kid that was fighting in the Circus Tavern. If you don't know, it's like a little strip club over at Thurrock Way. It's a strip club, and like a boy, a 6-year-old kid, fighting on that, then fighting sparring a unified world champion, soon to be unified. I don't know. World champion. That's definitely a very highlight of my career. Like not being funny. It's like it's a very good spar. Like not being funny. I'm guessing if Josh wanted to, fucking. But like it's very controlled. You know what I mean? It's very different. Like the levels, like it's very spar to order. Do you know what I mean? It's very like, and me sitting there watching that, I'm sitting there thinking, oh, like so this is what it's like. And then obviously, like I said before, he'd do something, and I'd be like, you know, Karate Kid, the new one, when he copies the snake, and I'm sitting there thinking, I'm gonna try that next week, or I'm gonna try that now, and then, fuck, that works. Or a little thing he'll do, and I'm thinking, I'll try that, and it's just like little things. And then he said to me, he's like, Ben, like, oh, like you're getting better every time, and I'm thinking, oh, I'm just copying you. Do you know what I mean?
So another thing that I noticed as well, when I watched the Hillman fight, is the embrace at the end. Was that your mother?
Yeah. So 100%.
Is that obviously? I imagine she's a massive person in your life.
Yeah, 100%.
And I think I've seen things before in an interview where she's been like one of the people that's been trying to get you back into boxing as well. A little bit more.
Yeah. 100%. Like when straight after that fight, my mum was there at the thing, and not being funny, she would always tell me like, get back in it, stay in the gym, it'll be all right. And like there's like she was always kicking me up the arse when I was a kid. You know what I mean? Like after the skills bouts I used to do when I started, she was like, oh, you need to get back into it, stay into it. So like her being there at the end, like sort of like not much of a cry, you know what I mean? But it proper like done me.
Yeah, of course.
She was also there when I lost. If you watch the Craig Poxton fight,
but
she was there as well. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, always there through thick and thin, which is obviously like one of the best things about mothers, isn't it?
Yeah, 100%.
And I think after I think your first loss against Craig Poxton, you had about, I think it was about 7 fights unbeaten. Was it difficult after that loss to kind of get them big fights?
I don't know. Like I said, after losing my first one, I think that made me realize, like, slow down a little bit. Do you know what I mean? So not the fact that I wanted a big fight, but then again, I'm a hypocrite what I'm about to say, because I stayed consistent. Then I had them 7 fights, and then I think I got the call for the Craig Evans fight. On like I had hand, foot. Oh, my son gave me hand, foot, and mouth, and I was really ill. And then I got a phone call about fighting Craig Evans, and not being funny, when they said the money, I was like, it's nearly Christmas time. Fuck it. But me now, if someone said that to me now, I'll be like, no matter what, don't take that fight. You're not well. But at the moment in time, when you're a parent, I'd say it's money in it. Do you know what I mean? I weren't very in a good financial position at that point. But when I got offered that fight, I was like, yeah, which I shouldn't have. But again, you learn, like, boxing records for DJs. You know what I mean? So like,
yeah.
We live in a big era where everyone cares about their records. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, and it's probably down to a lot of it's down to Mayweather, isn't it? And
yeah, Mayweather had the perfect record, so they want the perfect record. Everyone goes, "Oh, how's it feel when you took your first loss?" But it's a learning curve. Do you know what I mean? I learned more from my losses than I did my wins. Like I said, the first loss I learned massively. Craig Evans, I learned massively again. Sean Cooper, sorry, I didn't lose that. I got robbed.
I actually watched that fight live, and I was like, I'd watched you in the previous fight against Craig Poxton. I watched that live as well, and like I kind of felt so bad for you. Do you know what I mean? Because it was just like, that was kind of your route back into British contention. It was kind of like a hard pill to swallow, I imagine that.
Do you know what? That's what that hit the nail on the head for me with, I hate this. I shouldn't say I hate boxing, but like, boxing ain't life. Do you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
well, after I lost that one, I'm thinking, oh, well, like I said, I didn't lose. I'm not going to be one of these people that says, I got robbed, but I actually got robbed. Do you know what I mean? Like, I had Tyson Fury ringside and he said to me, Carl, welcome to the club. And I'm sitting there thinking, that weren't me, was it? Like, it was the first, what pisses me off, sorry for swearing, what pisses me off is the fact that if you watch all my fights, I never used my jab. But that fight, I boxed and moved, never got hit, hardly got hit. One, two or three shot, like, but it's just one of them things, you know what I mean? Like, it was just such a kick in the nuts where everything was going so well. The shittest thing is I broke my wrist in the fight. I actually think I did it in the warm up, and then I had to have a layoff with that, and it just, you know, when everything just went wrong, it just went wrong, and it just pissed me off. Do you know what I mean? Like, even the fella, his manager, his trainer said, "Oh, well done on that one." Even he said, "Oh, well, like, cheers for the opportunity. We'll have a rematch." Like, obviously, he was last minute opponent. Do you know what I mean? And then that happened into, I'm like, fuck. This game is just fucking bollocks.
Yeah, and obviously that was kind of built as your route back, like I said, and you were still with Queensbury there and Frank Warren. Is that something that is that a continued relationship, or is that sort of up in the air at the moment?
Not being funny. I ain't put my I ain't reached out. Do you know what I mean? So, like, I'm in the gym. I haven't got a manager at the moment. I'm guessing so. Like, my old manager will sign me again, but obviously with the pandemic, like, I haven't really, like, focused on doing my license and medical because, like, I ain't gonna do my medical and then we go into lockdown 4. I'm not jinxing anything, but, like, let's just say there's no point doing all your medical and that and wasting all that money. Not being funny, at this moment in time, money's precious to everyone, isn't it? You know what I mean? So, like, I ain't gonna sit there and waste any money. So until everything's certain, I think that's when I'll do everything, like, bam. But yeah, I'll probably sort out, like, I don't know. It's I'm a very things happen for a reason. So I'm guessing, like, something's around the corner. I'm guessing, like, I'll probably get signed back there, or, like, if anyone asks me in that, like, it's one of the things, isn't it?
I think even though them losses will have been, it was obviously quite, especially the Sean Cooper one is one that you said that you don't think should be there, but I think that might help you get them fights. Do you know what I mean? It's, people might look at you and think, well, he's been on a 2-year layoff, and he's coming back, like, he's coming back now, and he lost an 8-0. But the bottom line is, like you were saying before, you started young, you're still young, and you've got all that experience now, so that can kind of be deceptive to people who are trying to take fights for you.
Yeah, not being funny, like, I'll probably look like an easy target. I probably am an easy target, but yeah, no, you're right there. Do you know what I mean? So, like, hopefully, like, so I think Sank's around the corner. Hopefully, Sank will pay off. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm training. I'm staying in the gym. So, like, that's the main thing. Just keep the momentum. Don't have a layoff, like a long layoff. Like, just stay consistent with it. Do you know what I mean?
Well, I look forward to seeing you back in the ring. Please stay in touch and let me know if anything does come up and we can jump on again and have a little catch up.
Yeah, no, 100%. I appreciate you asking me to get on this and that. It's nice to, like, not being funny after 2 years. You're the first one to ask to do a little thing with me, so I really appreciate that, mate.
Nah, honestly, I'm a massive fan of boxing, like a real hardcore fan. So, I appreciate, like, how you've come through and, like, your journey. Do you know what I mean? So that's why I look back and I was looking for guests and I was thinking I'd like to see where he's at now and what kind of mentality he's in at the moment. So yeah, it's good to catch up, mate. Best of luck with everything, and I'll be watching. I'll be watching for sure.
Yeah, cheers, mate. Thank you. I really appreciate it. Yeah.
All right. Take care, bro.
Stay safe. Yeah. Stay safe.
Thank you. See you later.
Bye, mate.